The NWSRI is made up of many individuals, local community members, regional biologists, provincial biologists, even federal biologists through the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, and importantly, the First Nations partners in our watersheds. All these people come together and begin hammering out a recovery plan which outlines the certain steps necessary to recover the population to a viable state.
There are 4 nationally significant populations of white sturgeon in the Fraser River watershed, 3 of which were assessed as endangered and overlap in range near Prince George. The Nechako population is currently listed and protected under the Federal Species at Risk Act, or SARA.
So the Community Working Group is part of the Nechako White Sturgeon Recovery Initiative. It's a very important part of the program as it brings together the community, the stakeholders, the folks that are passionate about sturgeon recovery into one spot, and they can talk about things and come up with creative ways to engage the community members in different projects to recover the Nechako white sturgeon. The Nechako White Sturgeon Recovery Initiative wouldn't be successful without the support of its First Nation partners. They're the core of our research team. Many of the technicians are out year-round collecting key data to help biologists understand what's happening in the river and also within the hatchery itself.
So the sturgeon, or Clecho as it's known in the Dak Health language, carrier language, is very important to the Carrie-Sakani people. They've been used for thousands of years. They used to eat them. It's a very rich fish, so a sturgeon would feed many people. And there's also medicinal values to the fish. Certain parts would be used for medicines. And the sturgeon were everywhere in each watershed. And so people are really concerned that this fish is diminishing. You know, it's been a part of their heritage and culture for so many years that they don't want to see it become lost. So sadly, since the sturgeon is now endangered, First Nations have not been able to directly target or harvest sturgeon for food or for medicinal purposes for many years now. The only way that sturgeon are encountered is if it's bycatch during fishing for salmon or char using a gill net. But unfortunately, no one is allowed to fish for them at the moment. And we hope that we can restore the population so that people may in the future be able to fish for them again.
So the Nechako White Sturgeon Recovery Initiative operates on 2 different sides of this. On the one side, we're trying to improve the habitat in the wild so that fish that are in the river are able to spawn successfully. On the other side, we try to, through the aquaculture program, rear fish until we have a number of fish in the river that can then utilize that habitat to naturally maintain itself. So on the research side, there's a number of projects, as I mentioned, and there's a number of different organizations that are partaking in this research. We have academic institutions like the University of Northern British Columbia here in Prince George. We have professors at the University of British Columbia that work here in Vancouver. We collaborate with a number of other academic institutions. As well as per our involvement, the province of British Columbia is involved and heavily invested in the recovery program, as well as the federal Department of Fisheries and Oceans, of course. In terms of conducting and guiding the research, the technical working group is comprised of those entities, which includes First Nations partners, and all of us together implement the various research programs. So we support each other and we try to get to the bottom of all the questions that we have about the white sturgeon in the Nechako.